He began rhetorically by saying, "What's going on here?" I'll tell you what's going on here. It is yet another example of how J.D. Vance has absolutely no core. That guy is profoundly and pathetically a weak human being, and he does whatever he thinks his boss wants him to do, whatever he thinks will curry him favor that day with Donald Trump. And he's also just absolutely wrong on how he's approaching the situation of keeping people safe in Minnesota. I know you didn't ask about it, but I hope you don't mind me just taking a minute on this, because we saw a tragic end of life in Minnesota where children were left without a mom, where a spouse was left without her partner. And what we need right now is not idiotic gaslighting from the sitting vice president of the United States. But we need a real thorough investigation as to what occurred. You know, because you've interviewed me. I used to be the attorney general of this Commonwealth, the chief law enforcement officer. And we dealt with these tragic situations where there was a law enforcement involved shooting. And the most important thing you can do is calm tensions in the community, conduct a thorough and complete investigation. And J.D. Vance also said later in that briefing that they were not going to participate in that. Kristi Noem said that too. By the way, another wholly unqualified person in a really important role. What we need right now is to end the gaslighting, end the lunacy of J.D. Vance's ridiculous statements, and instead have an investigation where you are able to get all of the evidence put forth, which is going to require the federal government to be participants in that process, and then bring about the truth to the community. The only way that you're going to restore faith and trust in the community is by making sure the community has the truth of what really occurred. And J.D. Vance did his job on behalf of Donald Trump yesterday, which was to block the truth from coming out, to make a community less safe instead of trying to create more safety and security in that area. J.D. Vance knows better, man. He should be ashamed of himself. And he's not. And I think that speaks to the weakness of his character.